And the first place in my list goes to what the hell, we have Goliath that fast. Why this basic doll? But a huge step out of the box. It's like it is something for its time. It is just, I have no words. The thing is, at some point of my life I was scammed. Hello amazing ghouls and humans, and I'm very happy to see you on my very first YouTube video. To be honest, YouTube was something I wanted to do for quite a long time, but I never had an opportunity because of the work and studies and just overall the lack of time and energy. But now, as it's holiday and I finally have time to breathe and do my stuff, I decided why not to just sit and ramble about stuff and hope to get into some interesting discussion with you, because to be honest, I just adore discussing stuff, especially Monster High related. And I decided that the first video should be something quite simple but fun, and let's just dedicate it to ranking of all Comic-Con Monster High exclusive dolls. I think that it is a nice beginning. It is very huge and interesting topic after all. And here I need to say that I was hugely inspired by videos of Raven Rai, and it is weird to say that their videos are already kind of nostalgic. I've recently been rewatching them to just let things down and relax a little bit, and I realized that they were recorded 2 years ago. 2 years! It feels like it was yesterday. But well, anyway, they're still inspired by their stuff, and I really hope that you will enjoy it at least a little bit. And please remember that all of these things are super subjective, and you can agree with my opinion, you can disagree, and if you disagree, it's even better because we can discuss and listen to different opinions. So usually people start going from the least favorite doll to the most favorite, from bottom to top, but I decided to do it otherwise and start with my favorite Comic-Con exclusive doll and go into the least favorite one. Something different, but I hope it will be fun. Anyway, let's begin. And the first place in my list goes to Scare Screams. And some of you may be very surprised here and be like, what the hell, we have Goliath that fast. Why this basic doll? But let me explain myself. For me, Scare was always a huge step out of the box. Like this simplicity, this style, those eyes. It is so unique features, but it is also the features that would probably not be widely understood, especially by children. When we talk about Monster High, we need to remember that first of all they were targeted towards kids, towards young teenagers. And when we think of young teenagers, we need to remember that stereotypically this audience prefer bold colors and a lot of accessories and maybe like cute colors, cute designs. They want the doll to just like catch attention and jump from the shelf, be very noticeable, be very bright. And then we see her. She is in very limited color scheme. She is very minimalistic. She almost doesn't have accessories except of this small minimalistic belt and headband. And she is not in the colors that are usually preferred by young audience. at least I don't really know a lot of children who would like to go around in olive and, you know, these colors. This is why I think that it was very bold of Mattel to try and release her. So this doll is probably something an adult person would prefer. Someone who is into history of fashion, maybe, and someone who is open-minded enough to appreciate her for her minimalism. And again, I need to say here that it is totally fine if you don't really like her or if she's not your favorite. I totally understand you. And since the beginning, I really wanted this exact doll. Because, of course, we have I Love Fashion and all the rest of the Scare Screams dolls releases. But even in I Love Fashion, you look at her and you understand that this is a great doll. She has a lot of accessories. Her designs are cool. But they added more colors to her. They added prints. And it just killed this collector simplicity for me. I mean, I still like I Love Fashion Scara, and I have basically 2 of her. But this is just not the same. I mean, just look at this. Look how different they are. This doll is like olives. Not for everyone. For true appreciators. And now let's go to the second place. And on the second place we have Black and White Frankie. The first ever Comic-Con exclusive, and sadly a huge financial fail for Mattel. As you may know, this doll was not sold out during the Comic-Con, and they put it, from what I remember, on Justice, and she was sold there for even cheaper price. And let's try to understand why it is like this. And I think that this is exactly what could happen with Scara. This doll was just not understood by children and by parents. Why would a child try to get the black and white edition of the doll if they can just go to a local toy store and find a color one? Because when we talk about young teenagers who get a doll for play, they don't really treat it as the collector edition piece. They want a doll to play with. And of course, I'm not saying for everyone. I'm just saying out of my observation, because I remember the time when this doll was still fresh release and people were discussing her, and sadly she was misunderstood, and there were just a lot of people who were asking why they released something like this. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, probably if she would be the second or the third release when Monster High were already popular and be known around adult collectors, she would get much more appreciation and much more success. But as the first ever release, sadly no. What about me? Well, since the beginning I just like unique stuff. You may understand it by my collection of prototypes. I like dolls that are standout, that are not what you usually see. And before her, I've never seen a black and white doll, especially the black and white version of the previously released colorful doll. So she was just a grail for me. But sadly, when I accumulated enough self-awareness and experience in doll collecting and understanding from my parents, she was already very, very expensive. So I guess I managed to get her only in 2012. Yeah, 2 years after the release, by a quite big price for that time, to be honest. But I just remember this incredible feeling of just taking her and understanding that she is so different. She doesn't even feel real because she is black and white. And she really feels like a collector edition doll, like something that you would not usually find on shelves. Of course, now we have Shadow High, we have other black and white Frankies and stuff, but this was the first one. And what I also hugely love about her is that her makeup is much darker than the colorful version, and I really like dark makeup on dolls and black lips. It is not what you usually see on Monster High dolls, sadly, and I really, really appreciate it, and she is just so beautiful for me. The third place goes to Valentine and Wisp. This is probably very subjective, just because I like villains and I really like Valentine as a character and his story, his, let's say, understory, the part of being the part of LGBTQ plus community and being unable to accept himself and doing shit because of this. Well, quite relatable, honestly, but well, anyway, the dolls are wonderful, especially Valentine. I mean, look at the painted souls and look at the real embroidery on the tiny little earrings and just on everything. He's so detailed, he's so wonderful. I love him. And Wisp, she's very unique because she has a tail. I don't have tail right now, it's somewhere, but yeah. And again, it's cool that we finally got Gigi's sister. She's wonderful, she's very unique, and yeah, great set, I guess, especially for its time. And here I wanted to mention that Wisp is also a very relatable character, with all the story of being in the shadow of her sister and just basically in the shadow. And it was very sad to me, by the way, how the 13 wishes ended, because basically she was sent on the bottom of the ocean or swimming pool, I don't remember, I'm sorry, but well, she would spend an eternity in her lamp, again being absolutely alone. And it is very cool that they give her this twist plot with Valentine finding the lamp and being able to become her friend. So yeah, one more thing I really like about this pack. The fourth place, finally, oh my god, Gule that fast, and she lost her that fast figure. So yes, probably one of the most expensive Monster High dolls nowadays, and one of the most valuable Grail dolls. What can I say about her? She is fantastic, of course. She is probably what is considered to be like very highly appreciated doll by both adult collectors and children and even people outside of the Monster High fandom, because she is actually the doll that you can relate to, because she's a collector and geek and Comic-Con attender herself. And the doll herself, she's amazing. Like, she has a lot of accessories. She's very beautiful, and oh my god, her hair is just sensory heaven. It is so soft, it is so long, it is so straight. Her makeup, it is also like black and white, or to say silver. Silver lips, silver eyeshadows, 2 pairs of glasses, even a small figurine, and the edition of I keep losing it, an edition of the comics. So yeah, Goliath at fast. I really wish you all who dream of this doll to get her less than for the price she's going for right now, because it's just insane. I understand that there is like the speculation that there were only 1,000 of copies made of her, but even with this, and let's be honest, it's not confirmed, probably there were more of her, but even with this, she is still not a prototype, she is a retail doll. Yes, she is an exclusive, but the price is really overblown, and it is very sad. It is just so devastating to see her going by what she is going now. And the 5th place goes to Vidona. This doll is both very cool but very sad to me, and the sad part is that they never released her like prototype look. I really liked that prototype in country style, and for some reason she just looks so much more interesting for me. Maybe for her it works better to have wider color scheme, because it looks cool to have a lot of colors with black, completely black skin. Is just she shines. And maybe it's just again the part of nostalgia, because that look was the first I've ever seen of her and stuff. But anyway, this release is also very cool, and I appreciate that they literally released her. Again, it is a huge step out of the box. Even though back then Monster High were at their best and they had a lot of money, and even if this release would have problems, they would basically not really lose a lot, and probably back then it was quite secure for them to release such a doll, because Monster High were already very popular among collectors, adult collectors, and it was very obvious that this doll will find her appreciators. Another thing is that I really like spiders, and having a spider doll with 6 arms is super cool. And again, I remember getting her right when she was released by almost a retail price, and looking at her and thinking like, God, Mattel, you are such a genius. It's like, it is something for its time. It is just, I have no words. I literally have no words. Even though she could be considered scary or too much, I remember that she was getting much more appreciation and people were really trying to get her. Maybe because she's much more colorful than Scara. Maybe because, again, she's a comic lover and we all are here probably. Maybe not all, but a lot of us. Maybe again she was just released later, a year later, but still. But yeah, she seems to be loved a lot more than Scara, and well, good for her. By the way, I bought this doll for the second outfit from my friend, and this makes her a little bit more unique for me, and I really like her. And of course this one. I like them both. They both are wonderful. And the sixth place goes to Manny and Iris. Well, basically this is a nice pack. They are very detailed and they are also very unique. And here I want to especially talk about Manny because, oh my god, they literally give him a very unique and very huge body. I mean, they may just went with a normal Monster High boy body. They may just confine themselves with a new head or something, but they made this. They put so much effort into it. They put so much money into it, and it turned out to be amazing. What I also like that he has real jeans with oh my god, real stripes with real pockets, and I think that this is just the quality of collector edition doll. He has a lot of accessories. He has backpack, packs, and a ball. And of course we have Iris, who is very nice. Again, when you look at her, you think like this doll could never get a release because she's not even the background character. She's like the background character, but she's here in her basic look and she's so wonderful. I think I like this release a little bit more than I Love Fashion one, probably again because of the more minimalistic color scheme and less prints, but basically, yeah, I like both. Oh my god, her shoes, just, it is so wonderful. The mold of the shoes are quite simple, but because of the print of the eyes, they are so characteristic and they look so nice with her bag, just like it was a compliment or something. Yeah, so Iris is also a wonderful doll. And the next place goes to Rebecca and Hexikai. And here I think I can say that it was the decline. Sadly, it was the decline of such an incredible era of the G1 Monster High. And basically it was the last G1 Comic-Con exclusive. It is obvious here that the budget was smaller because his clothes, it looks quite cheap and the colors are not really resembling the movie version, because when you see the Hexikai in the movie, it looks like he has the vintage filter on. His colors, they are quite dim and warm, and imagine if he would have such fabrics, such colors, how amazing it would be. And in the film he also has the hat, the goggles, the glasses, maybe something else. Oh yeah, the small triangles on the shirt. So, and here we didn't really get all this, sadly. I still very glad that we got him as a doll, and I really like the arm. Like, I guess this arm is the best feature of the entire set, the arm and the box. And just look at the detailization, look at all the shading and colors, and that it has quite unique joint, but all the rest looks just unfinished. I think that unfinished is the best word here. And about the Rebecca, well, first of all, I'm really glad that we finally got the Frights camera action Rebecca. Because when I was watching the movie, I couldn't stop thinking that, like, Rebecca was such an important character. Why didn't she get a doll? And here we finally have this look. Finally we have Frights camera action Rebecca. But again, Mattel has an opportunity to experiment a lot in Comic-Con exclusives, and it's wonderful, but I really feel like in this case experiments didn't really go well for them, because the thing that covers the entire doll, the foil, in some cases it fades and the doll starts to look weird. Fortunately, I don't have this issue, but in my case, in certain areas, this foil doesn't really look neat enough. And the doll, she just looks weird. Like, on pictures, on video, you can't really find a normal pose for her, because she just shines, and it's not a good thing in this case for me. And talking about her outfit, I really liked it in the movie, but again, the colors here are not really resembling. They are much brighter and like much cheaper looking. Again, she sadly doesn't have any shading on her head, and it's a huge loss, because imagine if the head would be shaded at least a little bit, like at least a small black touch. The same goes about shoes. The shoes, they are actually like the prototype shoes, they are in parts, and like, wow, great idea, but the thing is, they always fall, and you really need to put some either glue or elastic bands on them to make them to stay. The belt part is again wonderful mold, but no shading, very sad. This is really the doll that could be wonderful. This pack, it could be incredible, but it is crystal clear that they didn't really have enough opportunity, enough money, maybe enough time to invest. Even though, like, if we take Ever After High, Cedar Wood of that year, that doll is wonderful. I also have her, and she is just probably my favorite collector edition doll. She's just amazing. But here, yeah, so sad. But at least her legs do this. I also can do this. The next place goes to this doll. Yes, this is the release of the saddest year, the 2022, but At least in this year we got some wonderful dolls, including this Frankie. Well, of course, it's not what we used to like. This doll for some reason considered to be G1, even though her screen is absolutely not G1. Probably I would consider her to be still G3, but still I really like that she is again black and white, and I really like the tradition that they release Frankie in the beginning of every era. So we had black and white Frankie of the first generation, we had Ghostbusters of the second generation, and we have this of the third generation. She's still in box. I'm not sure if I will unbox her. I really want to, but not sure. Her outfit is nice. I would say it's quite simple, but it goes well with everything else and doesn't really look that bad. She has colorful makeup, which is quite interesting, considering that everything else is black and white. And she's fine. It is, to be honest, less and less things I can say about each release. Maybe I'm just tired, maybe there is really like not enough to discuss with her. Just, yeah, very nice doll, just maybe not my favorite. And the last but not least, Ghostbusters Frankie. Well, I'm very sorry for all the G2 lovers. I really understand you, but this doll is just not my cup of tea. I mean, she is a very unique piece because, again, it's a collaboration with the film, and her outfit is very detailed. And actually, she was released at the same time as this pack, and it seems like there was much more effort and money invested in this doll rather than in them. She has a lot of accessories. Her outfit is well made, the fabrics are fine, everything looks wonderful, except of the fact that just the faces of G2 is not really my kind of thing. Like, some prototypes are cute. I have the prototype of Laguna G2 and she's just so wonderful, but most of them, they're so just not for me. And another thing about her is quite sentimental. The thing is, at some point of my life, I was scammed on this doll and I lost 250 bucks. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. I, in the end, got her, like, I had to pay again to another person, and I paid more. But still, it's just not very nice. And to be honest, like, for everyone who was scammed at some point, I'm so sorry. We need to, I don't know, we need to unite and I don't know what club, an anonymous club of collectors who've been scammed. I don't know what I'm saying about. I'm just sad that I had to pay so much for her, and that yeah, well, not the best experience. And as you may notice, I haven't included this pack in my ranking because basically they are not Comic-Con, they were Mattel website exclusive, even though some people say that they were considered to be Comic-Con, but something went wrong. So I don't know. And I've just understood that I forgot Who Dude Oh my god, I'm sorry, Hooded. Of course you exist. I'm not being plush phobic here. I'm sorry. But well, yeah. Um I don't know. I will just talk about him. Uh for me it was always kind of weird that they put him with Skara. I mean, well, they are friends, okay, but it is quite interesting to make him plushy, even though in the movie he has like a normal boy monster high shape, so they could basically just release him as a doll. It would be wonderful, I think, because this version he doesn't really look like one in the movie, and I've seen DIY dolls that were much more resembling. I also kind of don't really like that he can't hold any poses. They could at least insert like a wire into him or something to make him more like a doll. But overall, he is a nice addition to the Scara doll. And after all, it's cool that he got the release even in such a mediocre form. So thank you all for watching, thank you all for being here with me. It was a huge joy to record this video, and probably it will be even more joy to edit it. But well, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this format, and maybe there is something more you would like to discuss with me. Any topics, any ranking suggestions, anything you can leave down in the comments, and wish you a wonderful day.